So we have already seen what is the paper pattern for IELTS general and academic reading test. We also looked at what are the challenges that you will face. Now we are going to talk about what are the skills that you need to develop to tackle this sort of a challenge. So let me just recall a little bit what we discussed. We discussed that the biggest challenge that you face while attempting this 3-section test is of time and accuracy. What do I mean by that? You have 1 hour, but this 1 hour is not enough to read close to 2500 words and solve 40 questions. And when you have less time, your accuracy also goes down. So this further leads to loss of grades. Now, what is a skill that you can work upon to basically tackle these two problems? The first skill we are going to touch upon is a language skill. So we also discussed there are two types of skills. There is language based skills which can help you become better at both of these things. It can help you make a faster reader, and it can increase your accuracy. There are also skills which are strategy based. I mean, there are strategies using which probably you will have more time to answer these 40 questions, and henceforth your accuracy will also be more. Right now I'm going to talk about a skill which is called reading comprehension. Now, what does this word mean? See, in technical terms, without going to the details of the technicalities, let us try to understand what does this term mean for you. Now, reading means ability to read words. Okay, so maybe you are a good reader, you read newspaper every day, but comprehension is what makes it difficult or important. Comprehension means whether are you understanding what you are reading or not. In fact, in many places these two are now considered to be the same word, especially when it comes to your mind's ability to learn from what you read or listen. So basically, reading comprehension, if you're good at this, it means when you read you also understand. Now this all sounds like talk, okay, and frankly speaking it is difficult to understand or to acknowledge what I'm telling here unless we see an example. So what I suggest here is that let me cast a paragraph here. Let us read through it together, and then probably I'll be able to explain you the difference between simple reading, maybe you can call it passive reading, and reading which involves understanding or comprehension. Let us have a look at that. So let us do a very interesting exercise here. We are going to discover what is our current skill in reading comprehension. Okay, for that I need you to help me with a stopwatch. Basically, I want you to pause this video when I'm going to display a small part of a passage here. Okay, and I want you to read the passage from top to bottom, whatever you see here, and keep an account of how much time did you take to do that. Now, how is that going to help? We'll find out later. But right now, just follow what I'm asking you to do. So while I write the title of the passage here, please pause the video. The entire passage will be visible. Read it. Keep a note of the time that you take to read it, and you'll see what we can talk about it. Now, the title of the passage I'm going to talk about is called What Killed the Dinosaurs. What killed the dinosaurs? Let us have the passage display here. I hope you can see the passage here. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read it aloud. All right. Meanwhile, you can go and read it and make a note of your time. Okay. Below the turquoise waters of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula lies the site of a long ago mass murder. In a geological instant, Most of the world's animal and planet species went extinct. Drilling through hundreds of meters of rocks, investigators have finally reached the footprint left by the accused. All right, we're talking about footprint here. The footprint marks Earth's most notorious space rock impact, known as Chicxulub. It's the dinosaur killer. Okay, it's the D killer, and it has got this really complicated name, Chicxulub. All right. It further reads that in 1980, a team of researchers, including father-son duo Luis and Walter Alvarez, reported discovering lots of iridium. So there was father and son duo, and they discovered iridium in places worldwide. Iridium is rare in Earth's crust, but abundant in asteroids and other space rocks. Fine. All right. Now let us have this part removed. I'm sure you must have noted down the time that you took to do this. Now you have read the paragraph. I have read the paragraph aloud in front of you. Is this reading comprehension, or is it passive reading? So far whatever we have discussed, whatever you have seen, according to me is passive reading. Now what is active reading? Active reading is by whatever you have read, try to answer these questions that I'm going to ask you now. Who killed the dinosaurs according to what you have read? Number one, the footprint was of a dinosaur. Was this footprint of a dinosaur we are talking about that was discovered in Chicxulub? All right, that is another. What is this mass murder? Why is this called mass murder? What are we talking about here? Okay, so what is this father-son duo do? What is the importance of them finding iridium? Why iridium is mentioned here in the first place? So see, these are questions which can be answered only, and again, only if you have understood what is in the passage. Now I'm going to give you answers of these questions. Okay, it is a mass murder. Why it is mass murder? Because we are talking about the extinction of dinosaurs. Basically 90% of Earth's life went extinct. Now this is based on my personal knowledge, but mass murder relates to an event of extinction. You need to understand while you are reading for the first time. Mind it. Footprint is of a culprit, we are saying here. Okay, what is the exact word? Of the accused, which means this is not a dinosaur's footprint. This is a footprint of the dinosaur killer, the D killer, which is a space rock. So who is the dinosaur killer? According to whatever we have read, a space rock is the probable dinosaur killer. And is there a proof of it? Is there a documented proof of it? Yes. The father-son duo of Luis Alvarez, Alvarez, they found that there were signs, there were readings of iridium, which is not usually found in Earth's crust in abundance, which means it has come from a foreign body like an asteroid or a space rock. Now all this information, if you know, if you can repeat, if you can explain exactly what is written here to someone else, then that is real reading comprehension. So you have to read and you have to comprehend. If today you look at any paragraph, you can read it and answer any question, logical question based on the information in the paragraph, which means your comprehension is sorted. If you cannot do that, then this is a problem area. So this is what I mean when I say that you have to develop the skill of reading comprehension, which means when you read a paragraph, you just don't read it. You understand what that paragraph means in that first reading itself. If you're able to do this, believe me, half battle in IELTS reading test is won. Okay. However, this is not all. There is more to this, the skill that you need, truly speaking. Okay. So far I'll establish it this way, that we saw a paragraph here and we have understood that what reading comprehension truly means. But is this all what we need? Is this the entire skill, or there are some factors in addition to this? So what more? What other than reading comprehension? See, uh, now let us come to the reason why I asked you to note down the time you take to read this passage. You have approximately read 100 words. Now, in an attempt to understand these 100 words and read them, how much time you think you took? Okay, this cannot be more than 1 minute. This is critical. Now, in 1 minute, if you are reading and understanding 100 words, for 1000 words, you have around 10 minutes, which means around half an hour you will take in reading this test, and rest of the time you'll have um, reading and understanding this whatever number of passages we have in the reading section, and then you will need time to search and find the answers and solve it. So 1 hour will never be short. You will have enough abundant time in that 1 hour. But this is not easy. This is a difficult task to do, especially if you are not a regular reader. If you are at a 6 or 7 level today, this is a challenge you must work at. So one simple measuring, you can say a yardstick that I can give you is that, can you read and understand small paragraphs of 100 words in 1 minute? If not, if it is more than 1 minute, you need to do some work. Okay. Now, what is the other complication that is added to here? So now, if I have to add this complication here, this is not the complete skill we are looking at. We are looking at speed of reading comprehension. Wherever you add a time limit, the speed is involved. So the true skill that we are now talking about is not just reading comprehension, but speed of reading comprehension. And in an exam, you're not going to read 100 words, you're going to read 1000 words. Hence, speed of reading comprehension for lengthy passages. Now, why am I talking about a lengthy passage here? See, it is easy to read and remember what you have understood if you are reading only 100 words. But the amount of reading is more. The moment your article is a 1000-word article, it becomes a little difficult to remember what you have understood. So while you were able to comprehend, it is difficult to remember. That is why in a actual question paper, you have to go back, find the information again while solving the questions. Okay, so yes, you have to develop the speed of reading comprehension for lengthy passages. That is the skill we are working towards. All right, I think this is very clear as of now that what is the skill we are talking about. But is it complete? Or is there any other element still pending here that we have to discuss? So I think there is one more complication or a layer that gets added to this particular definition of the skill, especially when you are solving a section 3 passage for both academic and general. So what changes when we are talking about a section 3 passage? That is what we'll discuss with the next example.